DHS, Give Us Back Our Children, is a support and action group of mothers and supporters organizing to get back children who have been unjustly removed by the state and placed in foster care or institutions. DHS stands for the Department of Human Services, a government institution supposedly responsible for the welfare of children. The aim of our group is to fight individual cases to get the children back and to campaign to change the system to prevent any unjust removals of children, and to demand the resources for mothers so that no woman is vulnerable to having her children removed in the first place for reasons of poverty. We begin first and foremost with the needs of the children who pay the highest price when their lives are torn apart by social services. We began in 2006 when some of us from the Global Women's Strike met two women who had had a weekly picket outside of DHS for more than a year. One was a mother who was Native American and Latina and had lost her infant son because of the actions of her ex-partner. The other was a black single mother who was accused of neglect because the person she had hired to watch her children turned out to be unreliable. She'd been forced out to work because of the cuts in welfare, similar to what Kim had mentioned, and was punished for it by losing her children. These women started the picket in frustration after they had done everything that had been asked of them by DHS for more than a year and still did not have their children back. We began to work together with them, and after that many other women came forward who had also had their children unjustly removed. The children were removed primarily because of reasons having to do with poverty, as well as racism and sexism. The overwhelming majority of children in foster care are black children of single mothers. In Philadelphia, a city that is primarily people of color, 1 in 10 children are under DHS supervision. Children who have similar injuries are referred to DHS at 3 times a higher rate by hospitals if they are black or Latino. And that is just one example of the racism in the system. Lack of affordable housing is another problem. 30% of children in foster care could be home tomorrow if their parents had housing. Meanwhile, millions of dollars is going to professionals and to agencies. We learned that it's approximately $38,000 per child per year. And you can imagine what a mother could do with that $38,000. We are all volunteer, multiracial, primarily Afro-American and white, mothers, grandmothers, and supporters, including former social workers, of which I am one. Unfortunately, one of the mothers in the group, Pamela, was to speak today, but she had to return to the US because of illness. We have 15 women in our core group and 10 others in the larger group. And we also work with Payday Men's Network, especially in the cases of fathers or partners who are helping women get their children back. I want to talk about some of the things that we've done, some of the things we've won, and the problems that we've been facing. Our basic principles are self-help and collective action. Each woman is in charge of her own case. We have monthly meetings where women present their cases and the group plans together what we can do. We also strategize together on our demands and the changes we want to make in the child welfare system and how to achieve them. We work in teams to accompany women to court and to meetings with DHS, social workers, and lawyers, so that no woman ever goes to meet the state alone. We also have pickets, protest actions. We've developed flyers, some are on the table. We speak at conferences, public events, and do whatever we can to get the information out about what is really happening. We meet with and make demands of officials. We write letters. And we have been part of an advisory board for DHS where we were the only grassroots voices, and we definitely made our voices heard. We also use the media to inform the community about what is happening and that there is an organization that is fighting and winning. We've had many breakthroughs with the media, which up until the time we started organizing covered the issue just from the other side and really demonized the mothers, assuming they were guilty. We've produced a dossier of cases to document the abuses. We have an online petition where women have written from all over the world with their own horror stories, and we're now working on a documentary video. In terms of what we've won, so far, 4 mothers have gotten their children back. And we've made significant progress in many other cases that are still continuing. We are now recognized as a force to be reckoned with. At first, we had trouble even getting into the courtrooms. We still do in some cases, but more often we are able to get in to be a support for the mothers. And they know now that someone is watching and demanding accountability. And the mothers have told us that they act much more respectfully to them in the courtroom.